Look, we have this is a fantastic question. If you are willing to answer one more question, then we'll wrap it up with this not last question. And I can tell people are just really loving this because there's probably I have another 62 questions after this one, so we're not going to get to all of them today. But this is a question from Doug Gardner, and I know Doug's very it's for me it's almost it gets to that point. It's kind of the question of the chicken and the egg, what came first. And I was thinking about this yesterday, and I said the egg. The egg comes first. Without the egg there's no chicken. And then people are like, nah, yeah, well, who laid the egg, right? But if you look at evolution, that new chicken laying the chicken that lays the actual chicken egg came from another egg down the road that wasn't a chicken. So the answer is the egg came first. But let me, it's just a little bit of comedy here. You can all disagree with me, but let me read this question. Doug
Mhm.
Gardner. So that's the question I'm reading. Um, I'll just read it again. The vocal cord's first responsibility is to meet the requirements of pitch. So are we, by focusing on the effect of the on the effect of the fundamental source, are we ignoring the cause? You said last week that it was proven that overtones are created at the level of the vocal cords. So then, can we say that the vowels are also created at the vocal cords? For example, in the Thomas Hampson demo, the woman singer's problem with her vowel was not only a hearing problem, but the problem was a registration problem. I understand that the voice is coupled system between the source and the resonators, but could manipulating the vocal tract with overt controls create problems with the registration? Thank you. Wonderful presentation.
Um, yes, it's two several questions and several answers. Um, a vowel is a thing we have to redefine. We have to find a new definition if we apply my idea of resonance matching overtones. A vowel usually is a part of a language. There's no natural thing like a vowel. It's only that we define a certain sound, a vowel, and it's related to a language. And then um, in phonology, they divide the different sounds in different vowels, and this is different in every language. So for Swedish speakers, for example, very close vowels to each other are different vowels, and those different vowels are only one vowel in Italian, for example. So this is a subjective definition of a vowel. Then you have the vowel related to written language, and then it's a sign. And then you have the IPA signs for vowels, and then it's also defined by a sign, but this sign is somewhere in this area of resonances. And what I did was I defined the vowel by only the resonance frequencies. So if I go to this chart, I ignore overtones. I just say we have the space of resonances. Second resonance on 1000 hertz and first resonance on 500. Then we have this sound. Now, this sound is completely independent on how we define the vowel. Italians would say this is something like this, and Germans would say this is a little bit different, and even different Germans would say it's different vowels. These are all German scientists who defined where the vowel is. But the resonance never changed. So as soon as I hear the resonance as a pitch, I can define this place. And this is a certain place and with a certain sound. It never changes. It only is defined differently by different authors. So if I apply Swedish to it, it's almost for them. And it's all for Italian. But the sound never changed. It's only how we perceive it, how that changed it. So I define a vowel as a couple, what is it? what is it called in English? I have two tones, two notes sounding together as a resonance. But then I have, um,
Are you thinking of Verkupplung?
no, not Verkupplung, Zweiklang.
Zweiklang, two-tone?
Two, yes, two-tone sound. So this sound never changes. Every place on this area here has a certain sound. But sometimes we perceive this sound here as a vowel E or sometimes as a vowel R or whatever. The perception of the vowel is different from the source. So I have this sound and I keep this sound. But if I change the pitch that activates the resonance of this place, then it might be that I hear a different vowel. So the places where the overtones are, this is pure physics. You cannot change the places of the vowels. If you have a certain pitch, you have a certain distribution of the overtones in this field. But if I match this sound here, it might be that an Italian perceives a different vowel sound here than a Swedish listener, even though I'm singing exactly the same sound. So for me, a vowel is this double frequency. So the resonance on here, on G6 and A4, exactly makes this sound. But it depends on the constellation of words and what we are expecting, which kind of vowel we hear on this place.
Right.
I hope this makes a bit more sense now.
Yeah, it definitely helped me evolve my understanding. I think the part of the question was, the vowels also registration problem. He said, could manipulating the vocal tract create problems with registration? But actually, getting the vocal tract in the right position where you get this cross, like the target, getting that in the right position for the right frequency, which would be manipulating the resonators. That's actually where the instrument's going to relax and produce that vowel at that pitch the most efficiently.
And then it goes, there's a connection between singing techniques and physics. For example, if you speak about registration, this register, this is a term that is used in very different ways, but I think I'm quite close to your kind of explanation. There is one paper published by Tietze who says that if you go exactly to the resonance point, this might cause turbulation on the vocal cords. So in order to stabilize your register, lower, you have to be a little bit under the resonance or even higher. This is what we saw in here in this interpretation of Barbara Bonney. She amplified. I go a little bit closer to here. She amplified her voice only on the tip of the vibrato. So she had her resonance here a little bit higher than the pitch. She was not exactly meeting this this partial. She was not exactly here on the point, but a little bit higher. So I think this is what Tietze told. The physics are telling how the vibration works. And if you go exactly onto the resonance, then it might give some problems. So you still can apply this diagram then, but the instruction would be to go with the resonance a little bit higher. But as soon as you are close to this pronunciation, then your body starts working it out in the right way. So this diagram is physics, and this is not singing. It's only helping the singer to go in the right direction.
Yeah, I think that's always important to remember. But it's very fascinating. It's an excellent example of why vibrato is used in classical singing, and because it actually can make the voice louder or perceptively louder, and is being so precise can actually cause instability, which you could argue that vibrato is an instability. It's going up and down. Anyway, very fascinating stuff. It's that old question: what comes first, the chicken or the egg? But as Doug, in my opinion, you have in your question. I think it's great to think about, and if we're just thinking about the vocal tract space, then we could be ignoring the effect of inertance, that the sound and the vocal folds work together, and they need to continue to work together. How would you say that in your words, Wolfgang?
In the same way. I always think in waves. So there's a wave coming from here with a very high speed, 1,300 kilometers per hour, and it suddenly goes to a kind of door here, and the pressure goes in all directions. So another wave goes back to your vocal cords, and if you have a resonance, then this comes exactly in the same the pressure constellation. So this kind of sound stabilizes the new opening of the vocal cords and makes it a smooth movement. And this is the reason. So I would say where everything is connected. So if I am in resonance, I get dynamic effects on the vocal cords as well. And if I'm out of resonance, I get problems with my voice. And if I'm straight on resonance, I also get problems. And I need to know where those places are. And I think it helps if you know where the overtones are related to the vowels.
I completely agree. I know I'm having to bounce back and forth by clicking because the software is not automatically switching for us. But thank you, Wolfgang. It's amazing, and there's so much learning in this live stream today in the Q&A. And if you're a younger singer that maybe is exposed to this the first time, you might just be like, my brain's exploding here. Right? But don't worry, it's going to come little by little. And learning to sing, sometimes it's like learning a new language. You got to learn a new vocabulary. And today we're really on the scientific side. So for everybody that is at that level in their understanding, I'm sure this has been extremely fascinating, wonderful discussion. And if you're newer, I just want to comfort you and say when you're working with a good coach, we're going to be working on all of these concepts without really saying the full layer. And think of it like your sound. I think this is a great example. If you have your what's called the fundamental in your science, that's the strongest pitch, and that's really what we hear. Our brain focuses in on ah. Okay, now we've sung what we call in our language a pitch. But that note has all of the other layers. It's already there. So you're doing that. And when we're learning how to sing, it's like the same thing. We're getting that first layer. Everything else is there, and you're just going to discover it little by little as you go. So enjoy the journey. Keep working. None of this is impossible. Everybody is the same, pretty much the same anatomically. We all have little challenges, but as Wolfgang pointed out today, he had a student with whose tongue couldn't go out only that far and not all the way up to the roof of his mouth. So your body is going to find ways to adjust, and it's a wonderful journey. I thank everybody that asked so many wonderful questions today. Honestly, it's been just a great session. I know many of you are interested in learning more, so please go to our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click notifications to get notified. Also, go to our Facebook page, Singing Revealed. Follow us there so you get notified. And we have a group. We have the group Singing Revealed Nation on Facebook. So join our group, stay in touch with us, and you can write us anytime at singingrevealed@gmail.com. Really easy to remember. And then we're happy to keep you up to date on upcoming courses, workshops, teaching, learning opportunities for teachers and for singers. So there's a lot coming up in the next few months. And I love working with Wolfgang, so you can expect to see Wolfgang here again, or me and Wolfgang together. I'm hoping in Germany in the future as well. But let me invite you to, everybody who's still here, to give Wolfgang a big round of virtual applause. You can even take yourself, let me see, I'm going to take you all off of mute, so if I can't do it. Anyway. Unmute all. I'll let you go ahead. Take yourselves off of mute and make some noise, some little shouting here for Wolfgang.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Been such a pleasure, Wolfgang. Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in. Please stay in touch with us and send us any questions you may have. We're here for you and look forward to seeing you. Next week is Singing Revealed members only live stream. So if you're not a member yet and want to access our archive and tune into the members only live streams, then please join us. So the first 2 Saturdays of the month, we're going to do live streams. The third Thursday and also a Voice Masters live stream, and the fourth week of the month will be the members only live stream, except for in April when Easter weekend is that first week of April. Then if there's 5 weeks, we just shift it back. Have a great time, everybody. If you enjoyed today, remember to follow and like. We'll see you next time. Let me put on some Harry Styles music for you, and have a wonderful weekend.